Hey, I've been playing and streaming Culling for almost a year now, and in that time I've seen a lot of new players who'd love to get better at the game but aren't exactly sure how. Naturally, in an early access game, things can change, so some of the information in this video may not be up to date, which is why I've decided to focus on general gameplay strategies, rather than specific fighting skills, as they tend to change less over development. If you want to skip to a certain part of the video instead of watching all of it, in the video description there are timestamps that you can click on. Hopefully this video will help you. How do I improve at the culling? The culling is all about survival. While it's generally seen as a good thing to survive longer in each round, a lot of new players mistake coming second or third as being a victory. It's often possible to survive until the end of the game using certain perks or hiding, but ultimately if you want to win you have to defeat the strongest opponent alive. Only one player or team can win each round, so if you are new, I would recommend fighting and learning and improving as your main focus. That way, even if you lose, you can get some good practice in the first few minutes of the game and then join another one. This is much better than hiding for 20 minutes and then losing to somebody who's much better geared than you. This kind of practice is absolutely the fastest way to learn and improve at the game. Chances are, most of the people you bump into will be about equal to your skill level too. Whereas if you avoid fighting until the end of the game, you'll probably guarantee a fight with a decent opponent. Should I fight? One of the many skills in the culling is identifying whether you should fight or run. Some players get greedy and bite off more than they can chew, and some players run away more than they should. But really good players will know exactly which to do in most situations. In a 1 vs 1, it's important to try and see what kind of gear your opponent has. Items are changed and rebalanced during the game's development, but in general, weapons have tiers. Crafted weapons are the weakest, and then tier 1 is the next one up, all the way up to tier 4, which is the strongest. I won't go into details about each weapon here as there are so many, but you can go into the airdrop section of the main menu to take a look at the various weapons and see what tier they are, or you can pop into the tutorial and have a look at all of them there. As you get more experience playing the game, you'll be able to more quickly identify weapons being carried by your opponent. For example, I'm carrying a crafted dagger. This player is unarmoured and is carrying a crafted dagger as well. This is a tier 1 weapon. He doesn't have anything else visible on his character, so I would feel fairly comfortable fighting this person with what I have. However, this player here is carrying a baseball bat, which is a tier 3 weapon. She also has a bow and you can see some crafted body armor on her. This gives her more melee damage, more effective hit points than me, and a decent ranged weapon on top of it. I wouldn't want to fight that player at all with my current gear. Being able to quickly identify these things gives you a chance to run away before they engage you, or on the flip side, chase down a significantly weaker opponent if you feel like you have an advantage over them. Another obvious factor that might go into this decision is if your opponent is on low health to begin with, which you can only see if you get near them, but oftentimes you can estimate how much health they might be on if you see them taking damage from another player. Disengaging from a fight. If you're in a fight with another player and things aren't going well, or you simply want to run away from somebody who's much better geared than you can always try to disengage. This is something probably the majority of players are not very good at, and it's very different to simply running away. There are a few ways you can do this, which I'll show you now. Naturally, running away is an integral part of any of these. Assuming you have the same stamina as your opponent, you need more than simply running away to lose them for good. Using caltrops is an effective way to either catch up to somebody or escape from somebody. They do take up an inventory slot, but they are very cheap to make by crafting a rock and a stick together, which you can sometimes even do while you're running away. You simply throw them at the ground, and these make a small area of spikes which will slow your opponent significantly if they walk on them. Try to aim near their feet so they don't have time to sidestep them. Snares can work in a similar way. Most of the time these are used to get a free backstab on your opponent, but if you've pre-placed snares, running your opponent into them will buy you a lot of time to either heal yourself or escape. Using the environment or buildings can also help escape an opponent. Finding routes that are difficult to follow, like this for example. If he falls down, he can either wait for you or go into the building to chase, and if he does that, you can just drop off and run away. Lastly, and probably the most effective disengage in the game, is the gas pylon. You can always interact with these containers to gain a small amount of funk and create a large expanding circle of gas for a short time. However, if you damage the pylon, which is usually a little more than one charge attack, the gas will come out instantly and give you a free disengage from your opponent as long as they're far enough away from you. If they're still close, they may choose to sprint through the gas and catch up, but if they do this, they'll take a fair bit of gas damage. If you combine this with caltrops, you may even kill them in the gas. Crafting recipes. Crafting is a huge part of the game, and there are many recipes that you can see if you hit escape while you're in the game. I won't go into all of them here, but I'll cover the most useful ones. Rocks and sticks are often lying around on the ground, but you can always make more by hitting rocks or trees. It's worth mentioning that hitting the soil or grass doesn't create rocks, so check the surface. Crafted weapons all cost a small amount of funk, and all originate from rocks. 2 rocks make a dagger, which you can combine with more rocks for an axe or a bludgeon. Craft any of these with a stick and you'll make a spear. The spear can then be crafted with another stick into a crafted bow, which is a very effective basic ranged weapon. The progression to get a bow, therefore, is rock, rock, stick, stick. You can make arrows for any of the bows by crafting the bow with a stick on the ground. Then, there are a variety of useful consumables you can make by crafting. A bandage will heal you for 25 hit points and can be crafted using 2 sticks. Caltrops, which slow opponents down, are crafted out of a stick and a rock. Combine caltrops with another rock to make snares which trap opponents. You can use a rock with a gas pylon to make a smoke bomb which blinds opponents when thrown. A crafted satchel will unlock your 4th inventory slot, and you can make one of them using 3 sticks crafted together. However, you can also craft one of these satchels with a rock to make a light body armor. You can even craft the light body armor with another rock to make a reinforced body armor, which gives you 40 more effective hit points to fight with. A quicker way of making this armor is crafting a backpack with a rock, assuming you have one spare. This can be very useful after killing an opponent who drops a backpack if you want to replace your body armor quickly. In-game events. These are a variety of events that happen during rounds of the culling. They're likely to change during the game's development, but I'll cover them briefly because I find a lot of new players simply don't get involved with them. The announcer will always tell you when an event is going to happen, usually with some music at the same time. Many of these events happen in the centre of the island, which you can usually find by looking for the large floating culling structure in the sky. The Chokening is an island-wide event where a console appears in the centre arena. Whoever interacts with this console first will gain 20 funk and set off all of the gas pylons on the island, which can make things difficult for opponents or even kill them if there's nowhere for them to run. Loot Express gives you 2 minutes warning until a free random airdrop will spawn at the building that it tells you. This could be anywhere on the map and will often attract opponents too, so be careful. Shake and Bake is an event which heats up the outdoors, causing anyone who isn't in a building to slowly take damage. It doesn't damage you very fast, but it can often cause 2 players to have to run into the same building for protection. As of this video, the damage can't actually kill you. Drop Your Bridges will allow you to call in your airdrop for free from either of the 2 bridge pads. This is great if you have an expensive airdrop, but it's dangerous to use these pads as other players can easily shoot the bridges out from under you or leave you stranded. The bridges can be repaired at either end, so it's possible to play it safe in duo games if one of you stays at either end of the bridge. Grab My Package will pick a random pad on the island, set off fireworks for a while so people know which one it is, and then a free random airdrop will land on it. Loot Pinata will cause a free random airdrop to fly around the center arena until somebody shoots it down. Golden Crowbar spawns a crate in the center, containing a very powerful chainsaw which can be opened using a golden crowbar that will spawn in one of the surrounding hollow spawners. In the 3 crate Monty event, after 2 minutes the game will spawn 3 airdrops in the center arena. However, 2 of them will explode if you open them and deal significant damage. If you are new to the culling, I really hope that this video has helped. There's a lot of strategy in the game before you even start fighting the other players, and if you've any friends that you think would find this video useful, please share it with them so that they can learn as well. Thanks for watching, I really appreciate it.